One of the easiest ways that you can reformat text is by getting rid of any unnecessary double returns. Let's go to our Pages panel, and I'm going to double click this first page, page 1, to bring us back to the start of our document. If you go up to Type and down to Show Hidden Characters, you can see whoever typed this used two paragraph returns or two returns to create a double space. Now this is common in most Microsoft Word or any kind of publishing software to create this little space, but in InDesign we can format this a little bit easier. So to save us some space, what we want to do is we want to get rid of any double paragraph returns that are found within this text flow. To do this, let's do a find and replace or a find and change. I'm going to grab my type tool and let's place my insertion point right at the beginning of the story, right where it says peas grow well. To activate the find and change, go up to Edit, down to Find and Change. And this dialog box is very, very powerful. It allows you to locate any kind of text, objects, graphics, anything that you've created on your document and make modifications to it from here. Make sure to choose the Text tab, and we want to be able to locate a carriage return or a paragraph return, or any time that it indicates the end of a paragraph. Since it's difficult to type this, you can find special characters by clicking on the little @ symbol. So in the Find What field, click on the @ symbol and choose End of Paragraph. You can see it types the little special character for end of paragraph. Now we want to find two of these, so let's do it one more time and choose End of Paragraph. When we're looking for it, we want to move forward from our current location, and we want to change it to just a single paragraph return. So in the Change To field, let's choose End of Paragraph one more time. So it should look something like this. Finally, we want to make sure we're searching the entire story, not the entire document. You can actually search multiple documents, but just the area that we've got selected is the story that we have. Once it's done, you can say Find Next, and if you're following along with your document, you can see it'll highlight where it sees two paragraph returns. From here, if we click on Change All, it'll go through and look for all instances of it. In this case, it found 18 versions of it. When I say OK, you can see how it replaces it now with a single paragraph return. With that done, we can click Done on this to close it out. Now, of course, when you get rid of your double returns, if you look at your entire spread, everything looks like it's running together. What we need to do is we need to format the text so that the body copy looks different from our headings and all of our subheads that we've got. So one more time, let's go back up to this first page and we'll go to Edit and let's select all, or Command A. We can go to our Properties panel. Under our text styles for our paragraph styles, let's click the down arrow and open up the body copy. And let's start by formatting all of the text with the body paragraphs. With all the body copies selected, let's do the individual ones. First, we'll click inside of this first paragraph. Then one more time, let's return to our paragraph styles, and let's choose the paragraph with a drop cap. This will add a little drop cap to the first letter of peas. Then we can open or select the word fertilizing. And for this paragraph style, let's choose the body head formatting. Then let's select the first paragraph for this section, and we don't want to have an indent for it. So with our cursor inside of this next paragraph, let's change the paragraph style to body paragraphs with no indent. That'll pull that one over. Now it's a simple matter of going through the rest of this document and doing those changes. So going down to the next spread, I can highlight the word sewing, change that to be a body head, and then the first paragraph for this one needs to be no indent. Finding the next paragraph, thinning out, and that should be a body head. And then the paragraph immediately after it should be no indent. Choose protection from birds, body head, and then blackbirds, no indent. Caring for vines should be a body head, and then the next paragraph should be no indent. Going to the next page. Picking peas should be a head, and then the next paragraph should be no indent. Follow crops should be a subhead, and then as soon as should be a paragraph with no indent. And looking at our final pages, it looks like that'll be the last one. You can see how having these paragraph styles makes the formatting of everything go so much quicker and so much easier. At this time, let's go up to File and save our document before we move forward. Let's fix the height of these text frames that are on this spread. So going down to page 4, grab your selection tool, and we simply need to adjust the height of these text frames. Clicking on this text frame on the left-hand side, on the bottom portion, we can drag up until the height of it is approximately 2.1, right about there. Let's do the same for this one. Clicking on the bottom edge and dragging up until they're both exactly aligned with each other. You can see when it does this, this will automatically reflow our text as well too. I'll go to our final page, and let's readjust the flow of this text. We'll click on the bottom of it and drag up until it says roughly 2.5, right about there. And then we'll do the same for this side too. A small way you can fine-tune the placement of all of your text is also by adjusting it to a baseline grid. Let's go back up to page 1. So I'm going to double-click this first page and grab your type tool and simply click on the first paragraph. If we go to our Properties panel, you can see the leading for this, the amount of space in between, is set to 11 points. What we want to do is to make sure all of the alignment for each line is matching up across the entire page. To do this, we first need to establish our baseline grid. Open up InDesign's Preferences, and if you're on a Mac, it's found under InDesign Preferences. If you're on a Windows, it's found under Edit Preferences at the very bottom. Inside of the Preferences, InDesign, there we go. We want to open up our grids system, and at the very top you can see our baseline grid. We're going to have our baseline grid color to be blue, increment starting at 0 at the top of the page, and again we want it to increment every 11 points, the same leading that we had before. We can keep everything else exactly the same and say OK. In order to view your baseline grid, we can go up to View, down to Grids and Guides, and make sure to show your baseline grid. Now, if you're zoomed in enough, you should see some blue lines going across your page. If not, you can do Command and the plus sign, and they'll appear once you're close enough. You can see that how we want to align all of our text to the blue lines that are on this page. Some of them may be close to it, and some of them are way off. We want everything to be nice and flush. Using my type tool with my type in the first paragraph, let's go to Edit and Select All to select all of the text. Aligning to the baseline grid is found in your Paragraphs panel. So let's go up to Type and choose Paragraphs. There it is. The option to align everything to your baseline grid is found at the very bottom right-hand corner. Clicking on this will automatically adjust everything to snap to that line. Now, since we made a change to our paragraph style, we need to update our paragraph styles that we applied to each one of these. Using our type tool, I'm going to select this first paragraph here. And this time, let's go up to Type and open our paragraph styles to see them. You can see, I'll drag it off so we can see a little bit better. You can see whenever you make a change, any kind of change to whatever style you've applied, it's going to add a little plus sign here at the top. Since the drop cap was changed, That's why it's indicating that there. We want to update the drop cap paragraph style to also include this alignment to the baseline grid. So with it selected, you can either right-click or control-click on it and tell it to redefine that style. That will get rid of the plus sign, and it'll also update all instances of that particular use of the paragraph style. Let's do the same for the body head. So clicking on the word fertilizing updates body head. You can see there's a change. Right-click or control-click on it and choose redefine style. Let's scroll down and choose this first paragraph with no indent. You can see there's a plus sign to it. Right-click, redefine, and finally scroll over to a regular body copy. So here's body paragraph, and then right-click and choose redefine that style. Now we'll update all the styles inside of your paragraph style. I'm going to close out my paragraph styles for now, and let's zoom out so we can see the entire page. Since we no longer need our baseline grid, I'm going to go up to View, down to Grids and Guides, and let's hide our baseline grid. All right, we're almost finished. The last thing that we need to add is a jump line from the first page to the next page. Jump lines indicate that this document continues on, and we usually put it at the end of whatever is on the article that we're reading. To do this, let's go to page 1. And I'm going to deselect everything by going up to Edit and Deselect All. Let's grab our Type tool, and we're going to make a text box carefully at the very bottom corner of this page, right about there. We want this text box to be about 1.7 inches wide, so going over to my Transform properties, make sure you're transforming it from the top left-hand side, 1.7, and then 0.25 for the height. We'll hit return. If necessary, you can drag it over and have it fit nicely down here at the very bottom. Using my type tool, I'm going to click inside of it, and let's type P's continued on, and let's insert a special character to have it jump to the next page. In this case, we'll go to Edit, go to Type, go down to Special Character. In our case, we want a marker for the next page number, and it'll automatically type that number into there. Finally, to format it, let's select our text, go over to our paragraph styles, and choose Continued from 2 lines as our defining style. I see I've got mine way too far over here to the side, so I'm going to use my selection tool and simply drag it till it lines up nicely with that edge there. That looks good. With this done, we can zoom back out, and you can go through and see how your text looks on all of the pages, and everything's flowing really nicely. With this done, you can go to File and save your document, and you can preview it by hitting the W key to go into preview mode, as you see all of the pages, how they would be printed or sent to the final press. When you're ready, close out your saved document and upload it to the class page.